how I don't know if this is like my platform for this, but maybe it is.
Yeah, go away.
Can I just say it? And there's going to be a little profanity. All you people are full of shit. Like all of you. And it's just like, I have a problem and I need help with it, but I can't stop arguing with people who are politicking for their team.
Yeah. You're not going to change their mind.
I can't change their mind. And I wasn't even trying to, but you saw what happened to me. I got sucked into Vol Twitter last night. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that because why are you arguing with Vol Twitter? They're in.
So,
like,
that's why I was like pulling my hair out. And these people, a lot of them are very hateful and just mean. Like, I don't know. Like, what? Just
have you met Vol Twitter?
No, it's just like, God. It's just, can we talk about football? They're like, my wife's ugly and my kid hates me. It's just like, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, let's talk about the game here. I hope those aren't true. So here's what happened. I posted my bubble watch on Saturday, Andy, and this is going to get back to the politicking point. Okay. And Vol Twitter got a look at this, and they see Tennessee is behind Ohio State in the bracket.
Oh, they don't have a home game.
And as you know,
I got you.
Being the difference between 8 and 9 is a huge deal for Vol Twitter. And honestly, it's a huge deal. And playing in Neyland and playing in Ohio Stadium is probably a 3-point difference in the game. So it's an important thing to get upset about.
Didn't seem to bother Michigan, but go on.
Yeah, you can win on the road. Yeah, but and that's why it's like I always used to say, like, arguing about seeding is such low stakes in comparison to in and out, like in the past. But like these people, like it's like, okay. And I know there's a lot of very wonderful, nice Tennessee fans. I'm not trying, but is a set like Vol Twitter, like the ugly edge of Vol
Twitter's proud of being.
It's the most vile, unbelievably disgusting place on the internet. Like it's the black dark web, right? Is it the black web or the dark web, whatever they call it?
The dark web. They're proud of it. So I don't think you're insulting them by saying this. I think I'm
not even trying to insult them. I'm just saying,
view this as them doing their jobs.
I don't know how you could behave the way that these people do at times, but they do. And the thing that was like irritating with me is like, my projection of Bubble Watch, and I tried to explain this to these people, is my projection of what I think it will look like at the end, not what I think, first of all. So like whether or not I believe Ohio State deserves to be a home team or not is not at stake here. Secondly, Ohio State has 2 wins right now over teams in the top 10 in the college football playoff committee rankings. So they think that Indiana is a facade and that they should not get rewarded for a quality win over a fraud. And they're arguing with me about things like, well, recency. If Tennessee would have lost that to Arkansas this weekend instead of when they did, they would fall back way further back. And it's just like Tennessee fans are making up metrics to try to equate the 2 teams as if Ohio State doesn't just factually have a better resume right now. And like, it's just like there is a departure from reality. And no matter who you root for, you can make your resume malleable enough to seem better than everybody else's. Like Alabama and Ole Miss are arguing the same thing, and all they're doing is highlighting the things that are advantageous for them while ignoring the things that aren't. Mm-hmm. So it's like politicking to me is stupid. And I know why it has to be done, but like you can't lead. The only way you can politic is everybody uses all the information, not just the data points that favor them in this situation.
No, like, that's how you politic. Like Ari,
no, I know, but it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
I know. Like, people get mad at me for doing this on this show, where they're like, Andy acts like he's always right, and Andy makes it seem like everybody else who thinks this, the opposite of him is stupid. I'm trying to convince you of my position. That's the whole point. I want you to change your mind and agree with me. Now, I realize, Ari, that when I do that, I'm usually being stupid too, because I'm not going to change people's minds. You're definitely not going to change people's minds on this.
I'm not even trying to change people's minds. I want people to think rationally, and they won't.
But they're not going to. Why would a Tennessee fan think rationally? They want the best for Tennessee. They don't really care about anything else.
So I got this meme that somebody sent me yesterday, and it is a fit man in a suit with an Ohio State logo for a face, and it said, "Michigan beat us at home 2 days ago." And then there's a female secretary that has a college football playoff for a head, and it says, "Aw, you're sweet." And then underneath it, there's a overweight man who's disheveled with a Tennessee face saying, "We lost to Arkansas on the road 2 months ago." And then the same woman with the college football playoff says, "Hello, human resources." And like they're basically saying that because Ohio State lost 2 days ago to Ohio, because they're like the better brand, I guess, that they are going to get the benefit of the doubt. But this meme also leaves out the fact that Ohio State beat 2 conference playoff teams right now, and at the moment Tennessee is beaten 0. And it's like that meme is funny.
Yeah,
that meme is funny, but it's not true. You know what I mean? And it's like, why can't we argue
but
about
Tennessee
what's
fans
true?
don't want to think about that. Tennessee fans want the best for Tennessee, and it is very inconvenient if Tennessee and Ohio State are indeed up to be considered for the 8 seed and the 9 seed, which we don't even know that yet. We'll find out tonight, or at least we'll have a better idea tonight. Let's talk a little prize picks, because we had an SEC championship game between Georgia and Texas, 2 very dangerous rosters. Download that Prize Picks app, play $5, get $50 instantly when you use the code Staples. We got some squares out for the SEC championship game already. Carson Beck, 251.5 passing yards, more than, less than. Quinn Ewers, 240.5 passing yards. I will be curious to see if Prize Picks throws an Arch Manning touchdown total on the old app this week because of the Arch Manning package that we saw last week. I thought that was very interesting because Arch is like the designated zone read guy now. They do not. I'm looking at the Texas touchdowns, rushing, receiving touchdowns. There's a Trey Wisner, a Matthew Golden square, a Jaden Blue square, and a Gunnar Helm square. I'd love to see an Arch square on this because the Arch package fascinates me. Also, Friday night, Mountain West Championship game, Boise State running back Ashton Genty, his square is 179.5 rushing yards.
Under.
It was less than that the first time. It was less than that the first time.
179 yards? They're going to sell out to stop him.
Yep.
Less than.
There you go. Download the app. Use code Staples. Play $5, get $50 instantly on Prize Picks. All right. But it is very inconvenient for them that Ohio State has wins against 2 teams that are definitely going to be in the playoff. And Tennessee has a win against Alabama, which might be in the playoff. So,
but you know what that's like? It's like going to the doctor and the doctor saying you're at risk for lung cancer because you're a chain smoker, and then arguing with the doctor about whether or not cigarettes
except
are bad
this
for
is
you.
not lung cancer. This is not like this is real life. This is sports.
Then do it for like at less stakes. You can't fit into your dress or your jeans for the wedding you're going to, or your suit for the wedding you're going to. You've got a month to do it, and then you're arguing with me about whether or not Cheetos are bad for you. Like, it's like it's not.
It's pretty.
It's not. Perfect. And I'm not saying that like they shouldn't politic for their teams, and I'm not even talking about Tennessee fans. But I don't know if I'm the only one. But like, if I were a fan, I would at least want to know the truth. I'd want to have conversations about the truth, because if you want to have,
they want to have conversations about the truth amongst themselves, but with interlopers like you or me,
why am I an interloper?
Or anybody else, they don't want to have conversations about the truth.
I'm not an interloper. I want to have a real conversation about it.
You're like, not a Vol.
Here's the thing, though. Vol Twitter and River, who's back here laughing his ass off because he knows all about it, is that like, can we actually have an Ohio State Tennessee debate that is real? Because like I'd want to have that debate.
We can, but if we have it, we will never change the minds of the Ohio State or the Tennessee fans who are taking part.
Do Tennessee fans have an opportunity to convince me that they should be 8 instead of 9 by using the full picture in a real argument instead of?
But they can't convince you because you're convinced that they don't.
But it's possible. Like the thing is, like, I actually think that you could make the case. Like the bracket was never what I think. The bracket is what I think they're going to do. But like, if you want to tell me that Tennessee is playing better right now and that recency of losses should matter, like, I'm all for having that discussion. I'll have that discussion with you all day, like Lionel Richie, baby, all night long. But I'm not going to have discussions with people that are irrational and aren't using the full context. It's insane. And the most embarrassing thing about myself is that I can't help myself.
I think that's what it is.
I can't, like, I'm talking to people that aren't living in reality. It's like going to a person who's senile and arguing with them about politics. It's like, and I can't stop.
It's like you have an app on your phone that allows you to tap the screen a few times and someone will bring a Slurpee to your house. And objectively, you know how ridiculous that is and what a waste of money that would be. But it's something you can do, so you do it.
Yeah. It's yeah. But anyway, so the reason why I brought this up is that so here's what's going to happen. And I guess it's very high stakes for me tonight, because if Tennessee is ranked ahead of Ohio State in the poll tonight, which I think there should be a possibility of that, right? I don't know. We're going to predict the rankings tonight.
Well,
I'm not going on my
start
computer
there.
for 3 days.
Do you think, where do you think Ohio State falls to? Remember, Miami's going to fall out. You know, they were at 6 last week. They're going to fall. Ohio State was at 2. So we'll start with Ohio State. Where do you think Ohio State ends up?
So here's the thing that is interesting about this. So On3 just posted from the main account 35 minutes ago, Thomas Goldcamp's projections of the rankings. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas projected that Tennessee would be number 6 and Ohio State would be number 7. Now, if that does happen, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I think would be interesting is that Ohio State would have wins over the number 3 team and the number 9 team in this projection, and Tennessee would be ranked 1 spot ahead with only a win over the number 11 team. So if you do this, if this happens tonight, okay, and Thomas does a good job with this, I'm not throwing stones at the guy. How can you rationalize that in a realistic way that Vol Twitter wasn't able to do last night? And does that mean that Tennessee will likely host a game instead of Ohio State, likely playing each other? Because if you do it right now and both teams don't play this weekend, then how can you flip them at the end? So it's a very high stakes scenario.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to find out whether what I was arguing about actually turns out to be true tonight.
So this is the prediction that we have up on the screen right now. This is Thomas Goldcamp's prediction. And he's got Tennessee 6, Ohio State 7, SMU 8, Indiana 9, Boise State 10. So the reason this would be critical is that would be the 8-9 seed, because the ACC champ would get pulled up over them, and then the Mountain West champ, probably if it's Boise State, or the Big 12 champ, depending on who winds up getting the bye, would be pulled up over them as well. So those would drop to the 8 seed and the 9 seed, and it would determine who hosts that game. So
how does that happen, though? Explain that to me. If he's right, why did that happen?
The committee has recency bias. Look, you're not going to get much of an argument from me, Ari, because I agree with you. Like, you talked me into this on Sunday, because I was tempted to do this to put Tennessee ahead of Ohio State, but
because I can't even believe that Thomas would put Tennessee ahead of Ohio State.
You pointed out something that I've been saying
out of the top 10. They need Alabama in the top 10 there. He doesn't even have them in the top 10 in his own projection.
You pointed out something that I've been saying. No, they don't. Alabama's would be in. They're number 11 in this. Number 11
I know, but I'm saying in terms of top 10 wins in the current rankings.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Any.
But what have I been saying all year? Like, the litmus test is going to be who'd you beat that's in the playoff. Ohio State is the only team in the country currently with wins against 2 teams that would be in the playoff. The only one. And one of them's on the road. So that's why they are going to get, I think, the benefit of the doubt from the committee. That's why Ari thinks that too. We may be wrong, but that is why.
But if we are wrong, or I am wrong, then why do we break down resumes at all? Because then it's like there's no resume. They have a like. Is it a fact to say that Ohio State has a better resume than Tennessee? Is it a fact?
I don't know if it's a fact, but they're both.
Okay, let me break it down this way. Is having 2 wins against top 10 teams against a team that has 0 wins over top 10 teams is the one that has 2 better?
That's good. That's good.
Okay. So, like, what do we do? I just don't understand what we're doing here.
Well, they both have bad losses. Arkansas and Michigan are bad losses.
They canceled each other out. Okay.
Yep. They both had quote unquote good losses, but Ohio State's quote unquote good loss is better because they lost by 1 at Oregon, and Tennessee lost by a lot more at Georgia.
And Ohio State's loss, because the committee cares about this stuff, was in a rivalry game.
But I will tell you on, those predictive power rankings that I say the committee relies on. Now, Ohio State is ranked higher in FPI. Their strength of record on FPI and Tennessee's, they are 1 spot apart. There's Ohio State 6, Tennessee 7.
So where's the thing on Tennessee's resume that you could make it not a fact?
There's nothing.
Resume is better.
There's nothing. I'm not arguing with you.
Well, I know that Vol Twitter is going to watch though, so I want them to hear it.
You know why they're arguing with you?
Yeah, but I want them.
They like Tennessee. They want Tennessee to have the better thing than somebody else.
I know, but I just want everybody to come to an agreement before we go into the ranking show tonight that if Tennessee is ranked ahead of Ohio State, it's not because they have a better resume.
Everyone will agree to that except Tennessee fans who don't care, who just want Tennessee to have the better thing.
But I'm not going to go on the internet tonight if that happens. I don't have the appetite.
Yes, you will. You can't help yourself.
And I actually think it's like honestly speaking, like, you want to know what I actually think? I'm fine with Tennessee being ranked ahead. That's the funniest thing about it. Like, they're angry at me. Like, I don't give a shit if they're ranked ahead or not. Like, put them ahead. It doesn't make any sense, but put them ahead. I don't think Ohio State deserves to be in the playoff at all after that. What we saw on Saturday, they stink. I'm not trying to prop up Ohio State. I don't give a shit if they make it or not. After a game like that, they should blast the program into the sun for all I care. That's not, that's not. You think Ohio State fans are concerned about seeding right now? They're wondering whether or not their program's going to fall apart.